Reports are coming out suggesting Michael Carrick will be announced tomorrow, Monday morning, as the new interim manager of Manchester United. He's seen as the favourite. Mike Keegan, who's very credible, has now come out and said Michael Carrick has emerged as the leading candidate to become Manchester United interim manager, and deal would be to end of the season, and it could be announced tomorrow. Obviously, there was a lot of rumours of it tonight. And look, it could be Ollie, we don't know for sure, but it's now leaning towards Michael Carrick. Now, one thing we know about Michael Carrick is he got on very well with the players. That's something that Ollie also had. And I think a lot of people wanted Ollie over Carrick because he got on well with the players. But we know Michael Carrick got on pretty well with the players. And I thought, well, if Michael Carrick's going to be the interim manager of Manchester United, we might as well do a video tonight talking about how he would set up Manchester United, his tactics, approach, and more. Now, one thing that people have got to remember is Michael Carrick is coming in to be an interim, not a long-term manager. So, first of all, he might just try and do something with the squad rather than the style of play he played at Middlesbrough. We don't know for sure. Is he going to just try and work with the squad and try and get the best out of the squad he has? Is he going to go with the approach he does at Middlesbrough? We know that he is a relatively experienced coach. I don't think he had loads at Middlesbrough, and I think he did very well. He also got to, was it the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, beat Chelsea 1-0, but then did get battered 6-1 in the next leg. He obviously has similar principles to McKenna, that is a summer candidate of Ineos's as well. So yeah, let's talk about Michael Carrick, how he could set up Manchester United and more. So he obviously plays a 4-2-3-1. He plays a 4-2-3-1, but sometimes when they attack, one of the fullbacks, normally the right back, comes in to form a back three and a 3-2-5 shape with the other fullback going ahead. Now, I know I'm going to get comments. Shall we play in a back three? Amorim played in a back three. No, he doesn't. He's set up in a back four, but there are times where he would attack in a three-back formation. We've seen this with many managers. So he doesn't play in a back three, but sometimes one of his fullbacks will become a third centre-back. Okay, we've seen Pep do this. We've seen other managers do this. I mean, Arne Slot tried to do this season and it kind of failed. But he actually wanted his DM to drop deep between the centre-backs and his wing-backs to go. But yeah, he plays in a 4-2-3-1. One fullback, usually the left back, pushes forward and overlaps, so that would be Shaw and Dorgu, and that suits them quite well. The other fullback tucks in to form a back three. Well, that would be Mazraoui, and he was very good at right centre back in a back three. Probably wasn't great at right wing back. Mazraoui is a right back in a back four or a right centre back. I like. Now, Luke Shaw probably better right now at tucking in as a third centre back. Mazraoui probably better right now at tucking in as a third centre back. Delo probably better at being the attacking fullback, but we don't want Delo anywhere near the goal because he can't do anything with it. And Dorgu probably better at being an attacking left back. So I would kind of see it maybe as Dorgu left back, Mazraoui right back, and then the holding midfielder sits in front of the back three to protect build-up, which we don't have a player that can really do that. I think Casemiro is probably the best option to do that, but if you're looking at build-up qualities, you could argue Maino. And I will say one thing we learned from this Brighton game today is when Casemiro starts versus when Casemiro doesn't start, there's a huge difference. Like, I don't know if we would have won the game if Casemiro started, because I don't think he's been great lately. But we didn't play Casemiro versus Grimsby. We lost. We didn't play Casemiro today. We're lost. It's a little bit of a coincidence. But yes, I want to talk about attacking movement. Striker drops deep to draw defenders out. Attacking midfielder runs beyond into space created. That would be Bruno running beyond either Sesko or Cunha dropping deep. Maybe Xerxes, who knows. One winger stays wide to stretch defence. We don't have a player in our squad that is a specialist doing that. Ahmad and Mbeumo are the only natural wingers in the squad. Cunha's never been a winger. Ahmad and Mbeumo are the only natural wingers in the squad. They do their best work inside, There's players like Kulusevski and Cole Palmer that play on the wing, but they do their best job on the inside. There's players like a Nico Williams who plays on the wing that does his best work on the outside, holding the touchline. Anthony holding the touchline. Oh, we don't have a touchline winger. Rashford wasn't even a touchline winger. Garnacho probably could have done that, but that's the only issue. We don't have a natural left winger. We don't have a natural touchline winger to hold the width. I think he would maybe get Mbeumo to do that, or Ahmad to Mbeumo on the left, with Luke Shaw left back becoming the third centre back, or Ahmad do it on the right with Mazraoui becoming the third centre back and Dorgu bombing off. But the opposite winger inverts inside to overload central areas. And Bumo and Ahmad do their best work on the inside. Whoever's playing on the right and allowed to come on the inside, would benefit massively from that, assuming that it's the right back that bombs on and Luke Shaw tucks into a back three, and overlapping fullbacks provide crossing threat into the box. It looks like it's going to be Carrick. So you're probably thinking, okay, you've just spouted a whole lot of nonsense, but what do you mean? So considering Cunha's best work would be dropping deep as a nine, I would assume it'd be him and Sesko as nines. I've gone with Mbumo as the left wing and Ahmad as the right wing, just because I think Mbumo's kind of crossing maybe. I think it has to be a Bruno, Maino, Casemiro midfield three. Now, to be honest, this would have Luke Shaw bombing on past Mbumo here and Mazraoui tucking in. I think Dorgu would probably be better at that job. I'd just put Luke Shaw because he, Carrick knows him better. Purely reason why. Which means Ahmad holds the width. I don't really like Ahmad holding the width here. But this is kind of what it would look like in an attacking sense. Maino would probably get further forward. Casemiro would drop back. That's kind of what it would look like. Mazraoui, to be fair, would be definitely further up than that. Or it could be the other way around where Mbumo's, let's say, the left wing that holds the width. Maybe Leacher even plays left back because I think Leacher, now the physicality of the Premier League's gone up, could be better at left back, a little bit like Yuri and Timber. And then I think Heaven, unpopular opinion, I think Heaven complements De Ligt better than Leacher. I think Heaven's pace complements De Ligt better than Leacher. And I just realised that my face is kind of covering the screen. And I don't know if my face was covering the screen there, actually. So this was it one way. And then you've got it the other way here, where potentially Mazraoui goes up. It probably more likely be Delo, but we just don't want to see Delo right now. We've gone with Mazraoui. Ahmad comes on the inside and then Bumo holds the width, which doesn't really get the best out of Bumo. And this is the problem. This is where you look at Ineos and you say, you spent this money on Bumo and Cunha. This kind of doesn't suit them right now. We've got Bumo that's fantastic, Ahmad that's fantastic, Cunha, I rate him, I know he's been frustrating lately. Sesko benefits, Ahmad benefits, but wow, we need a left winger, we need a midfielder, we need a left back. That's what I will say. Now, what I will say about this system is I have concerns. We don't have the midfield profile and build-up. We needed a midfield under Ruben Amorim, but Ruben Amorim played with a midfield 2. We now play with a midfield 3. We're definitely going to need a midfielder under Michael Carrick. Manu Kone, Baleba would be great, but to be honest, we just need someone that can do the job and build-up. Now, these are the only midfielders we signed in the last 3 years, and Mount was an attacking midfielder, Ericsson was an attacking midfielder, Amrabat was a loan. Since Casemiro, it's only been Agate as an actual long-term, deeper option, which is nuts. And I do think, and I don't know if he's good enough for Manchester United, but I was sitting here and I was thinking maybe we just put 15 million on Hayden Hackney. He played under Carrick at Middlesbrough, was very good under Carrick, can, fill some gaps. If you're looking at James Garner, Hayden Hackney coming in, and then in the summer you go for Elliot Anderson, you go for Baleba, is great. Ideally a Baleba Anderson now. Look, I don't know if he'd be good enough for the Premier League, but we saw Adam Morton be a January signing 2 years ago and how good that was for Crystal Palace and how much he boosted Crystal Palace. We need a midfielder. This guy's worked with Michael Carrick. Maybe this is something that Ineos will consider. But anyway, look, Michael Carrick will probably be announced tomorrow as a PR distraction from the fact that we're knocked out of the FA Cup in the first game we played in it. Probably as a PR distraction from the fact they've done nothing in January. But I think Michael Carrick could be a good appointment. He's not who I would have brought in, if I'm going to be totally honest. I wouldn't have brought in Michael Carrick, but I think maybe tactically he's better than Ollie in that sense. As a coach, he's better than Ollie in that sense. He knows how to use a midfield. I personally wouldn't have brought in Michael Carrick. I think I like him, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't have sacked Amorim to bring in Carrick. But I think Carrick, seriously. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.